Welcome to the Ronday Show. Welcome to the Ronday Show. This is my second episode. During this episode, I will be talking about movie reviews. Recently, I've seen a litany of movies, and I just want to talk about them. Of course, I've seen Us. Who hasn't? I was there during the first night, so I definitely have some thoughts on the movie, and it was interesting. Let's say that. I'm also going to talk about some news articles. There's tons of news articles that I love to read. I love to skim through just to get a nice understanding of what's going on in the world. You know, the world around me. I don't live in a bubble. And I also want to talk about my opinion on certain things. There's certain topics that just come up that just motivate me to speak on, and I just want to share with you my opinion. And lastly, I have a question for you, a question of the day, and I want you to answer the question honestly, and I want you to get back to me so I can respond to you. Okay, cool, awesome. Well, look, I'm gonna get out of here. Not really. I'm gonna get the show started because I got things to do. Okay, cool, awesome. And stay put because the show's starting right about now. And oh wait, what are we talking about? The first thing. Oh yeah, I remember. Movies. The first movie that I'm going to talk about is Us. Of course, I have to talk about this first. So, let me tell you how I feel about Us. Now, Us is one of those, I'm glad I saw it so I can have that conversation, that commonality, because I know everyone's going to be talking about it. I can have that with other people, and it was a great movie, but I will probably never go see it again. There's some movies, you know, it's like once is enough. It's neither good or bad, it's just once was enough. And that's how I feel about this movie. I will say this though, it definitely stayed true to the art form of being like a thriller. You know, a thrilling, suspenseful movie. And that's different than a scary movie. See, thrillers or suspenseful movies, they're supposed to make you feel paranoid and unnerved. You know, scary movies just supposed to scare you. You know, they're gory and scary and all that stuff. So this is definitely a true thriller. Lupita Nyong'o's, I thought this was probably her best performance that I've seen so far. To be fair, I haven't seen many of her movies, but those I have seen pale in comparison to what she did here. That whole awesome. Yes, but there's a lot of reference. By the way, when you take a beautiful woman and make her look crazy and she pulls it off, that right there is just like award-winning for me. I think she did such a beautiful job just of acting insane when she looks like such a composed, like, you know, primped, you know, type of lady. So I think that's awesome. I was interested in a lot of the references that they had. Like, for example, they had the red jumpsuits and the glove in one hand. That's a reference to the movie. I think it was Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I believe. And there's also a lot of references to the biblical Jeremiah scripture 11:11, and there's also the whole idea of, there's one part of the movie she went down the escalator and it was a whole bunch of rabbits. It kind of is reminiscent of Alice in Wonderland when she went down the rabbit hole. And lastly, most importantly, as the tethered were holding hands, they were in their red jumpsuits, it created a red line. And red line, the verb red line means to deny someone services based on their economical or based on their impoverished level. So we can say, you know, these poor people were redlined, meaning they were denied services. So I wonder, is that also another message that the tether is trying to say, that we were denied services because they were kept in a bad place eating raw rabbit? Lastly, will the sequel be called Them? I don't know, so we'll see. But the second movie I'm going to talk about is A Medea Family Funeral. I think that's good. Yeah, that's it. A Medea Family Funeral. I'm not a fan of Tyler Perry movies, but this movie proves that I'm still not a fan of Tyler Perry movies. I can't get with the humor. The humor is too like, it's too on the nose. It's too obvious. It's like loud, black. It's just, I don't know. It just plays into a lot of stereotypes, and I'm just not into that. It just perpetuates a lot of stereotypes, and I hate to take it to a deeper level, but I can't get with Tyler Perry. I can't. I remember I saw like Why Do I Get Married or Why Did I Get Married. I saw those two movies. Those are the only two movies that I really enjoyed. Even when he did Alex Cross, that wasn't a bad movie. But this is just, I don't know. It was the problem with this movie. It was the duality between it. It was like, well, half of the family was there with drama, so it was serious and a whole bunch of overacting and I just have to be angry, you know, type of thing. But then Madeira and her crew were the complete opposite, where they were just trying to bring just nonsensical humor to it. And so one side was trying to be dramatic, one side was trying to be funny. So I really, it's hard to find a movie where it's drama and funny at the same time. Maybe something like I know Thor Ragnarok, for example. Not that they're in the same genre, but Thor Ragnarok was an action movie, but it was also funny. Same with Deadpool, action and funny. And there's a few other movies that it's either a comedy with dramatic moments or it's a drama with comedic moments. But these two, I don't know if comedy and drama can coexist in the same place. I didn't see that, so I was not really happy with the movie. To be fair though, the best scenes came from the the bloopers. The bloopers at the end was the best. The bloopers at the end was definitely the best part of that. So I mean, I laughed then, but during the movie itself, I probably laughed like one time. So I didn't really enjoy it. To be fair, I didn't think I was going to, but I did go in there with an open mind. I wanted it to be objective. I wanted it to be wrong. The last time I even saw anything about Tyler Perry was years ago. So I was like, maybe things have changed. Maybe I have changed. Maybe my taste in movies has broadened a bit, but no, still the same. So I didn't really care for that movie, but Us, it was good. Medea, not so much. Yeah, the third movie was Captain Marvel. I hesitated to go see this movie only because I'm so tired of the origin stories of superheroes. I'm so tired of the origin stories. It's like, I'm a fan of comic books, so I know already. I don't need to see any comics. I just want to go to a movie theater, and when I watch like a superhero movie, and I just want to see them kick some butt. That's all I want to do. I don't want to see like who they were before the superhero and how they got to the change and how they got to learn their powers and how they got a mentor, because everyone gets a mentor. So it's a lot. But I was like, let me go see it because it's a good movie, and I'm happy to go see it. It was a really good movie. It was really well done. I think the movie itself, it had a nice pace to it. I didn't really think that it was any lulls in the movie at all, and I really like that because I like to maintain a certain level of attention. It wasn't, some movies are slow in the beginning and then they progressively speed up, or it's like slow fast, but this had a really nice pace throughout the whole movie. So it was great acting, great special effects. It didn't overdo it. It showed how powerful she was, but she was also relatable as well. It was a good movie. The final movie that I'm going to talk about today is What Men Want, which is a age-old question. What men want? It ain't much, and I can tell you what it is. But no, the movie itself, I believe this was a remake of a Mel Gibson movie where he could only hear the thoughts of women, and so this is the female version of that movie, which I really enjoyed. Many moons ago, I wasn't sure if Taraji Henson could carry a movie by herself. I know that I enjoyed her in movies for sure, but I wasn't sure if she can carry a movie by herself. However, the previous movie that I saw with her was Acrimony or Acrimony, depending on how you pronounce it, I suppose. And that was a really good movie, like really good movie. I was like, oh, go you. So when this came out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna check it out because I know what she can do now. So I checked out the movie. Really good movie. It's a really good flow. It wasn't like one of those ha-ha movie, you know, ha-ha funny movies, but it was one of those movies where you had a smile on your face, but you didn't realize it. And I kept the smile throughout the whole movie. So that was a really cool movie, What Men Want. It was this one sexy guy in there. Oh my gosh. It was the guy from, what's that movie? He played Hercules. It was a movie in 2014. He played in a movie called Hercules. He was also on the Twilight something Lutz Sorry, Mr. Lutz. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but wow. Oh my gosh. He's like if I wasn't gay before, like I'm gay now type of thing. You know what it is? He's one of the white guys you meet, you just like, God dang, I need to date more white guys. Like, you know what I mean? Because you feel like you're missing out. You meet him, you feel like, oh my gosh. Ugh. Yeah, but anyway, the movie was good. He looked good. She was fantastic. It was a really good movie. So yeah, all in all, it was a good movie haul. There's some other movies I wanted to see too. I wanted to see Happy Death Day 2, but that was out of the theater by the time I wanted to see it. But I really wanted to go see Captive State. Usually movies are in a movie theater for like a few weeks, but I think this did so poorly that it was just like yanked out of there after a few weeks. So I didn't get a chance to see it, but when and if I do, I'll let you know. But that's my movie haul. How can I not talk about Jessie Smollett? Smollett? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry, I'm really bad with names today. What can you do? So Jessie, listen, I don't know whether he's innocent or guilty, but the problem is the implication, the insinuation that he faked this, planned this. It's bad, man. It's bad for people of color. It's bad for people in the LGBTQ community, man. This really set us back, way back. Because the next time someone claims to be a victim of a hate crime, there's always gonna be that niggling suspicion, like, oh, is he just pulling a Smollett? Are you pulling a Smollett? And that's gonna be the question. So, oh my gosh, it's almost like the implication is worse than the crime at this point. But what a nation we must live in when a person of the LGBTQ community, a person of color of the LGBTQ community, would manufacture their own hate crime. Wow. Another cool article that I saw was about a guy who's now convicted of larceny, and I'll break down what that is shortly. Apparently, I believe that the gentleman had 2 TVs. Well, he had paid for 1 TV, but actually 2 got delivered. He actually signed for it, and he didn't tell him that the second TV was there. So what he did was he put the first one wherever he's going to put the first one, but the second one he mounted in the basement. And so when he was asked by the police, he lied about it. Of course, once they searched his house, they saw that the second TV was mounted to the wall. These are huge TVs. So he got arrested for larceny. Now the question may be, what is larceny? Well, let me give you a little law lesson here. Theft and larceny essentially are the same idea. Okay, theft is like an umbrella term. There's different types of theft. Like theft is often switched out with the word larceny. There's robbery. There's burglary. There's different degrees of larceny. For example, larceny and theft run hand in hand. If, let's say, and I don't know the figures. I'm not a lawyer yet. Let's say that if the value of whatever is stolen is over $500, then that will classify as third-degree larceny. If it's over $10,000, it'll be second-degree larceny. Over $50,000, it'll be first-degree larceny. Something like that. The figures are wrong, but the idea is the same. It's like a tier system. So that's how larceny works. Now, larceny is a form of theft, kind of like robbery, and burglary is also a form of theft. But what's the difference? See, robbery is when you use some sort of force to liberate someone of their belongings, of their possessions. That force could be a knife, a bat, a gun, etc., 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 some sort of weapon. That's robbery. When you enter in a facility, an enclosure, and then take belongings, that's called burglary, because you're entering in a facility. So if you were robbed by gunpoint outside of a bank, that's called robbery. If that same person enters the bank and steals, that's called burglary. Now, while inside, if they use a gun to persuade the theft, then that's called robbery. You get what I'm saying? That's where we are with that. The other day, as I was perusing the internet, I ran across this article about this fraternity that was suspended due to making some racial remarks while on camera. It was something to the degree of they were making fun of slaves, and it was like, don't call him a slave, call him the N-word. So then instead of saying get in the field boy or harvest that corn boy, it went from harvest that corn boy to harvest that corn N-word. Something to that degree. Here's my point. Now, I know that when we are alone around people that are like us, we make certain comments. I say we, I normally don't, but I say we because I'm not trying to distance myself from anyone else, but more to say that I understand that when we are not in the midst of mixed company, around people that maybe worship the same God we do, vote the same way we do, have the same skin complexion, speak the same language, of the same sexual preference, we have certain conversations on people that are outside of that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's what happens. Here's my point. Have an understanding with the people that you're with. Don't film me, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? There has to be some unwritten rule where you just know you shouldn't be filming me while I say this. You know, so that's all I'm saying. Just be smart enough that, like, hey, we're gonna talk today, you all. Put the cameras down. I want to be famous, but not like this. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when someone robs a liquor store and get caught. Yeah, you robbed a liquor store, but you got caught robbing a liquor store. Like, you know what I mean? So that's how I feel. Like, yeah, use the N-word. You're not the first Caucasian to use the N-word, and you won't be the last. But you did it on video. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ugh, what can you do? Now, some people may say that I'm opinionated, and they right. Now, not that my 2 cents matters much or is worth a lot, but I often like to give my 2 cents on issues because I feel as if my perspective is a bit different. Recently, I was talking to a good friend, and we were talking about participation trophies. Apparently, like in kindergarten and middle school, like you get a participation trophy just for showing up, which it's mind-boggling because you're cheating that child out of a lesson in life that we all have to come to realize that there are winners and there are losers. Now, granted, just because you win today does not mean you're going to win continuously, and the same can be said of losers. But it teaches people to work hard and to strive and to try to do better than what they did yesterday because a goal is in mind. But when you give a participation trophy, there is no working hard. There is no goal. No one strives to do anything because they know they're going to get something anyway. If you know that either you're going to get a bronze, silver, or gold medal, plaque, or trophy, then you're going to work for that. But if you know you're just going to get something just because you decided to show up, then you're not going to work hard for anything. Have you met those people that always get things handed to them? They never have to work hard for anything. They're a whole bunch of narcissists because everything's been handed to them. The pathway has been paved for them already. They've never met disappointment. They don't have a healthy relationship with rejection or loss. And so they grow up to be these narcissists that can't handle life. Because life is not about participation trophies. Life is about building character. And losing builds character. Every great champion, every successful entrepreneur has had failures. And because of those failures, they grew up to the person that they're meant to be. Without those failures, they would just be weak and lack of character and emotionally feeble. And you can't have that in society. So I vehemently disagree with the whole participation trophies. I think it goes against our better judgment. I understand we want to make kids feel better, but what you do to a child that loses, you tell them, say, you know what, today was your day, and that's okay. Get in the car, we're going to go get ice cream. But tomorrow, you'll be back on a football field, basketball court, on that piano, on that stage, dancing, singing, acting, whatever. Today wasn't your day, but that doesn't mean you're not good. That doesn't mean you can't be the best. You'll win that trophy next time. And that's what you do. But you don't give a participation trophy just because they showed up, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Don't be concerned about hurting feelings. Be concerned about building character. And that's my 2 cents. So, as we wrap up this video, there's one more thing I wanted to do. I have a question for you. Answer me this. What subject in high school should they teach, but they don't right now? I know I have my answer, but I wanted to see what your opinion would be. Leave your comments in the comments. Leave your response in the comments below. I'll read them, I'll respond to them, and we'll talk to them in the next video. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks for watching the Ronday Show, and I'll see you later. All right.